first lead to atomic verses. Me and Max attack with a common purpose. I stole them niggas, you stole out your mama purses. You bitch niggas been disloyal since KB Toys. The streets gave me poise. No Melvins, just a bunch of Rodneys and baby boys. Listen, I'm not the one that you should try your luck with. Get abducted, fucked up, and then left in a rusted bucket, biatch. Sick train of thought, only y'all can conduct it. Just when they thought I was dusted and not a touch, I adjusted, and bounced back like I had Spalding on me. I am God, the clouds open, now the sun's rays is falling on me. To the heavens is calling on me, my shit gon' be elite. Your shit is mystery meat, you say it's beef, but it's all baloney. And fuck these niggas and all they homies, they all is phonies. I'm riding till the wheels fall off this bitch and it's stalling on me. It's alarming these rappers think that we all in the same ballpark. Fuck y'all thought the disrespect is appalling. Standing over the witch's cauldron, concocting murderous plots to help me further my spot. Guess you can say I'm stirring the pot. Heard a lot of niggas think they fucking with the overlord or going overboard. Potent dope that spoke from vocal cords. The key to success is possessing a gift that can open doors. Therefore the flow is nasty like infected open source. You a knight in rusted armor, equipped with a broken sword. Throwing rocks at a fire-breathing dragon, provoking wars. These is more than rhyming words, my nigga. I'm no thesaurus, I'm too complete for you to compete. My shit deep as the ocean floors. But yet I'm barely scratching the surface. Trust me, it's more to come. So motherfucking hot, I ignore the sun. Imagine if Yvonne Thomas ignored the conscience and chose to abort a son. We never would've got to bear witness to this historic run. It's effortless when I spit these descriptive works of art. I hurt your heart with these harsh realities till it burst apart. It's feeling like I'm about to have a great year. I take the fear and hate here and turn it into Shakespeare, motherfucker. Fuck you mean, bitch.
Nigga, that's the court. You know what I'm saying? You see that they tearing the shit down though, man. I remember back in the day, everybody used to be out here joking and shit, man. This your boy, young fella, man. You know what I'm saying? Tearing our shit down, nigga. My mom, nigga. Fuck with those. 60638 to the world blow though, you understand?
On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand. Shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws. But through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe. A bunch of children of the ghetto, unaware of the shit that awaited us all. Staring at the letter CVL spray painted on walls. Was just a tender boy, son of a single mother, expecting a baby girl. Now yet subjected to this crazy world. And at this time I'm thinking life was all Saturday morning cartoons and action figures. Not knowing that as I get bigger that shit'll get dark soon. Them cap guns turned to broke revolvers with bodies on them. Some rebel, some took to the streets cause ain't nobody want them. I went from mama's boy to child of the streets, a child of deceit. I was young and running wild in the streets, hanging with folks them, but I wouldn't plug. They just accepted me, gave me some lit, told me fear no Vic, that was the recipe. Can't run the streets if you know you got poor endurance. Stay on point cause proper preparation prevents poor performance. Had to look, listen and learn to peep the underhanded. Barely surviving, striving for knowledge, wisdom and understanding. Hit the county couple times, felt like I was stuck in time. Family looking at me like I lost my motherfucking mind. Coming home from school high, mommy tweaking, cursing me out. I holler, fuck you bitch, grab some of my shit then leave the house. Graduated to selling crack and weed, made a couple bucks but I was getting whooped. Blind to the tricks of the older clucks. Got stumped out by the police for a young nigga in these cold streets. It ain't no peace, all that speedball and get your brains left on a slow leak. Mommy moved us to the burbs, that created bigger issues. I'm on the metro headed to the hood with weed scales and pistols. Folks got jumped, it's go time, now I think I'm a hitter. We never found them niggas, a blessing that I ain't have to pull a trigger. I thought I was too live with that bullshit 2-5, trying to be something I wasn't. I was living true lies to the memory of all my niggas left deceased. I post some liquor in your honor, hoping that you rest in peace. On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand. Shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws. But through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe.
A woman died.
There's gotta be some changes made. Oh, now in your life.
I don't know what the fuck be making niggas think they can fuck with me. small circle to ensure I stay sucker free. Peace to the niggas rockin', those that truly got love for me. To the women that be lustin' me, they dreamin' of fucking me. Lick your fingertips and rub your clit to this, and let my voice bring you the climax. My raps is more real than any 3D or IMAX. Listen and digest this fly shit like Venus flytraps. Side-eyed niggas that speak on my city, you Chirac. Niggas love glorifying stupid shit, the useless shit in front of cameras, goofy capping, act as if you used to shit. With Max producing shit, how could I fall short? I hit the booth and get the kicking shit of all sorts. Listen, I'm just a product of the inner city. I remember plenty nights, there wasn't any lights and with no dinner in me. I was in tune with the harsh realities of life at an early age. Was used to struggle at an early stage. That made me appreciate the small shit. So now I kick that off the wall shit that leave these rapping niggas all sick. They say jealousy and envy get you nowhere, so I'd rather not go there. These niggas panic when I touch mics, I'm Rudy Gobert. I ain't the type to talk jazzy while hiding behind the screen naming Abby. You pushing buttons or trying to get at me, huh? I'm John Wick with the shit, I'm killing everything. While bitches sleeping on me, I'm setting fire to bed frames. Replacing alarm clocks with time bombs to bomb spots. This onslaught's for certain, these other niggas is long shots. Dousing your mattress in gasoline, it's asinine to try to find a rapper that rap is mean. I haven't seen a rap nigga that worry me yet. So far ahead of my time, I got fans that ain't heard of me yet. I'm not the nigga you should step to, disrespectful if I address you.
We out west with it, where we live illegal, leaning off a leader, riding regal, tipping scales like Libras. Inhale, no L's, pulling out blocks like Jenga. In the rear of a Caprices, Billy Rams, flicking decent nonetheless. Nothing less than 10s for the speakers. You'll hear us before you see us with beats that beat the streets up. Yeah. So try and keep up and keep it low key, cuz police try and treat us and keep us on a leash, cuz that's how they see us, thinking we nuts. Cuz we'll die for the ground beneath us, because this land made us. This land made of players that stay on paper. That's how we came up amongst the mayhem to the day when we display what we made of. The game can never change us, the West Side teaches. On these streets where you find that D before G. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just got a bit of plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Smell the grind in the air, take a whiff. Only the nose knows the aroma. Compose the money rolls that fold up, holding cold cups. Searching for those that got the purple O's for the $4. And we can go nuts and stay at the stove like grocers, and post up with O's on the table like coasters. That's how the game coached us, made us all in the soldiers. Now that dough is the focus, so know that we own this. Molded by the hood role models, riding good, the latest model, drinking good, raising bottles like we just missed a pothole. You got to know that it's impossible to stop our flow. We've seen it all from watching cops reload 30s a dro while drinking the night away until the block got slow. You'll know as soon as you see us, we the ones laid back in the cut. My demeanor seems to always get me up. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just got a bit of plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Yeah, home of the survivor, survival of the fittest in the town. It's wicked, you can J down in a minute. What am? What's the business? The biz is how you down and get it. From Cape Town, the fifth city that sounds the fifth empty. When we tipsy, it's risky. Where the lick be, at least 10 deep, it tempts me. But there's no mystery where the chips be, the tips G. Just our history from the 60s. Pimpin' ain't easy, but we bleed it. This here game is in our veins, in the air we breathe in. Believe this, it's no game, but the key is your mouthpiece, spit your game. But believe, turn nothing into something. We suffer without supper long enough. struggling from summer to summer. The same place where the dope is sold. It's home to the Oprah show. The same place I know is home. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it. You just got up in a plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than a seat. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it. I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it. Yes sir, hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggling.
A1.
Yes sir, I like how that sound right there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of inspirational. It's like everybody got a goal. They trying to reach or alive. They trying to live, man. We bumps in the road. You just gotta keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? If it don't kill you, it make you strong. You know what I'm saying? My story right here. Yeah. It takes a special kind of mind to grind and work from the bottom and climb up the ladder of success in time. It doesn't matter what the test is, every step is another level till I step in as the next in line, no question. I'm considered one of the best, my whole life invested in, holding mics and sketching rhymes, you guessed it. I'm on mine, still restless, yes, even pressed up my records on my own dime. As many battles I blew breath in, and open mics I blessed. I'll never be labeled an overnight success, passing out CDs, doing shows for free, then dabbing Bo to eat so that my soul could speak over these soulful beats that's so cold to me. Like the breeze in the shower, we be posted deep. All the prices that I paid, the sacrifices I made, it'll all come to life one day, someday. Patient, man, bumps the road ain't nothing. Rotate, nothing stopping us. Check it out, look. I remember it like yesterday, trying to get my record played at a radio station where they play hits for days. Having a conversation with this lady I'm facing while she making a statement made for me. She said, look, it's too many words in your hook. You need to work on your look. For what it's worth, I never took her words personal. But at first I wasn't certain though if she knew my words are personal and not just verses and books until the curtain closes. This is my version of what I know, learning in first person till I blow. And still I know how it feels to know I'm the deal. Did you still feel like a deal is just right, or a deal just might still add to my appeal? But they won't know I'm real till I touch my first million, right? I'ma chill till my bars is felt and play my hand with the cards I'm dealt, and that's the plan till it solves itself. Yeah, everything you want in this world is yours. All you gotta do is claim it, man. Be patient, work hard, man. Don't make it. Yo, it's damn near impossible to shop music without lots of loot to maneuver and make moves with. So I stay in tune with my pursuit. Fuck trying to recoup, I'm trying to juke and move units. The truth is, I'm used to excuses dudes give, like you can do what I do, food and prove it. Walk in my shoes then. I'm used to goofy producers and cools that try to misuse you quick. Why you got it confused? If you think it's about groupie chicks and interviews in a mix, it ain't got ghouly, but I truly got the tools to overcome obstacles, including this music biz. I'ma shine like.
This is a traffic jam. Traffic jam. Traffic jam.
Lillard, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
Hey, this is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the Bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks.
WIFTBPM.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio, you're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin.
Let's begin now.
It means you're back down on the soil, man, with your favorite sports media co-founders right here. I'm your man, T-Tom. Riding with me as always, my player partner, Eugene McIntosh. Gino.
What down, my brother?
It's all good, man. Hope everybody that's tuned in is having a good day as well. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, so I hope you're getting over whatever minor hurdles that you got to get over to get to Friday, man. Hopefully you're having a good one.
Man, is that snow a minor hurdle, man?
It wasn't a minor hurdle yesterday. I know that. My back is like, no, that wasn't minor at all, fam.
I don't think it was minor this morning either, man.
I know it's still a lot of people that's trying to get out of the snow. I know my block. If you drive, you probably going to get stuck on my block. If you drive down it, you got to be real kind of strategic with your driving down my street. But as soon as you get to the main streets, it's okay. You know what I mean? So it was a smoother ride than yesterday. But, man, the process of removing the snow yesterday was hectic, bro. I had to do it in like 3 intervals, bro.
I'm definitely running that back, man. Remember, we had a debate a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, about the snow versus the cold.
I know. If you chose the snow,
yeah,
sure
I was tripping.
I
was tweaking, man. I'm definitely taking the cold over the snow any day, especially, man, that 8 to 12 inches.
And it's snowing. What?
That was petty. Today, like 20, and yesterday was like 18. It wasn't so bad, but when it was zero, when the wind chill factor was like -9,
yeah, that was terrible.
It was unbearable, man.
That was terrible. I'm looking forward to that 30, 35, 40 degrees. I'm looking at over the next few days. It's gonna feel like 70.
That's crazy that we got to look forward to 30 and 40 degrees. But did you see? Like 39 states around the U.S. has snow. My cousin, shout out to Biagi and my cousins in Dallas, and she hit me up and she showed me a picture of her front yard and like that street, and it was covered in snow. And she was like, "Cousin, pray for me, because I think we're gonna lose our power."
Yeah, Texas has been getting hit. I guess they're not used to this kind of snow, so they're not really prepared, and the electricity has been out for a lot of residents. That's crazy. I seen Kendrick Perkins say he was without power for 24 hours. But
really?
Yeah. Ja, a couple of her homegirls in Texas definitely been, checking up, telling her that they've been without power. So it's definitely been crazy.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody out there getting that work in.
That global warming, like they getting an introduction to our winters. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, y'all are getting 30 degrees and snow. Welcome to our world.
Yeah, I saw it when I was watching that Portland-Dallas game on Sunday, and I saw it was snowing at like 4 p.m. out in Dallas, then Louisiana, and places that I thought I would never see snow. I definitely got the flux this weekend. So, hey man, now y'all semi know what it's like, and a lot of people they migrated from the Chi to the South or wherever they are now. Yeah. So hey man, don't never forget your roots, man. Your roots are gonna always follow you. You feel me?
You can't outrun it.
But man, shout out to everybody out there. Peace to the family members, everybody in the building, the gods, the earth.
Yes, sir.
Our boy Ron Rilla holding it down behind the
producer.
boards.
Yes, sir. What up, my boys?
What's
Yes,
what's the deal, Ron?
Chilling.
Yeah, man. That's snow, man. I woke up. So let me tell you the story. So remember that dibs conversation we had, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So I definitely pulled that this morning.
You finally came
Bro,
over
I'm
to
not,
the dark side.
bro,
huh?
I'm not shoveling myself out of no spot for you to pull in it. It's no way. And then yesterday,
As you know, I feel you.
period. But then yesterday, what was so funny, the guy, Rodney, Circle 7.
Oh, yeah.
I come on, I'm getting ready to log on to watch 2 and Herb. I see Rodney going live, so I had to bust out both. So I said what I said on my laptop, but I got Rodney on my phone going live. So this man is tight. So he stays on Indiana down on like 90th, 91st. So Rod been living there all his life, 40 plus years. So he said, man, G, he was in the middle of the story when I logged on. So I got in the comments and I'm like, man, what I missed? Run that story back. So he said, this is one of those family blocks. Like most of the people on the block have been there all of their lives. So everybody on the block knows each other. They all know this is a block of houses too. There ain't no apartments on this block. These are all houses.
Usually with people that been there for 30, 40.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Do you know what block it is? If you've ever been down Indiana towards between 91st and 95th, it's the block with the house that got the most Christmas lights in the history of Christmas lights.
It's crazy because I know exactly what block
because
you're talking about.
right, because you're a Thule
Park.
Park.
The most perfect description. Yes.
That's the block. Rodney lives at the beginning. So if you're going south, Rodney lives at the beginning of the block. That closer to 92nd. He's closer to 91st.
Okay.
He's like the third house off the corner.
Also where dibs is heavy.
Dude.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, so it's houses all on the block. So most of these people, they know each other. They've been there forever. So people know that, these are their spots, especially in front of your crib.
You really don't have to put nothing most of them.
There you go, Ron.
They know it's your spot
They know it's the spot in front of your crib.
Yeah, it's like, we know that's his spot.
About that way yesterday.
Yeah, you were.
My crib, bro.
In front of my crib. And then also, most of these cribs, they have garages in the back. So if you do have 2 cars, then you can park your other car in the back. But most people know that your house, that's your spot in front of your crib. Okay? So Rod said, Gino, man, I come out, I shovel just like you did, T. I shovel from my door to my walkway.
The essential.
All the way up to my door, to my car. He said, I shovel my car out. He said, now, man, G, I'm on my way. I'm going to get some. Rod, he's a coffee man. He goes to Dunkin' Donuts to get him a coffee.
Shout out to Maze.
Yeah, not an iced coffee, though. He go get him a regular coffee.
For sure.
And a newspaper. Rod old school. So he say, Gino, I'm going to get Dunkin' Donuts, going to get me a newspaper. He said, man, I come back, fool across the street and parked in my spot. Well, he said he said it was a car in this spot. Now, he said, now, I don't know who. He was like, now, most of us on the block, we know each other. We've been here forever. He was like, fool across the street. He's suspect anyway. He like, man, he be having the block on smash. He say the man got he say fool got carjacked on the block. He say fool's been coming through, blowing that fool on the block.
Okay.
Sounds like you, right?
Okay.
So he says he doesn't know whose car it is. So he say one of the young guys across the street, he go up to him because he was like, man, young homie, he always got a bunch of people at the crib. So I go knock on his door just to see if it's somebody that might be in his crib, see if that's their car. So he say he go knock on the door. He say, nah, bro. He say, man, I don't know whose car it is. It ain't none of my ain't nobody in here, so it ain't none of my homies, and it ain't my car. He was like, but man, fool next door.
The search continues.
He was like, nah, but fool, he was like, I think it's fool next door.
He got the fool, got the whole word. Okay.
Rodney's fool circle said, Gino, I marched right down on Stud. He said, I banged on this screen door.
Banged on his door.
Banged on his screen door. He said a fool came to the door. He said, Gino, I ain't even have to say a word. I just gave him the look like, come on, man. He said, come on, man. Now, Rod, he one of the guys. He one of the brothers from back in the day, so he draw off.
And you say he lived there his whole life. You know what I mean? But see now, ain't that how serious it is? I'll knock on your door.
Super serious,
Yes.
Joe.
He like, please look.
And Rod, like I said, Rod, he one of the old school brothers, man. So
Yo.
he draw off the old school demonstration. So he said, Gino, I walked right up on his demonstration. Knocked on his screen
Before
door.
I ain't even going to crib yet.
Knocked on his
gotta
screen
move his
door.
car now.
He said, Mac Buddy came to the door. He said he looked at him, didn't even have to say a word. He was just like, come on, man. He said, Buddy got to, oh, man, yeah, you want your spot back. He said, bro.
He probably couldn't believe it.
He said, bro, don't play with me like that.
He like, oh, fam, really knocked on my door.
You know what it is. He was tight, though. Rod was tight. He said, man, Gino, he was like, man, we don't play them games about the spot. He said, this the shot, man. You know how petty we
Like
can
you
get.
said, after you done almost broke your back to clear your spot out.
And you watched me shovel myself out of this spot.
Oh, that's petty. That's petty.
You watched me, because he was like, man, I looked across the street, and he was like, I saw, Buddy looking out. But he was like, Buddy's so petty. He be having the block on smash. He said they done carjacked him in front of the crib. The studs be coming through, blowing at him on the block.
Hate him. Okay.
So he already got the block messed up. Now he want to steal my spot. He said, man, I wasn't going at all, Gino. He was like, man, he lucky because I was going to pull it. And then, Rod plugged in. So he like, man, I had his joint towed. He like, I got plenty of guys with them demonstrations that'll come through. If I get a word, they'll come through and swipe him, and he got to go find his car wherever he can find it at. He's like, don't play with me, Joe.
Move. I'm not mad at that.
That's
move.
a boss. That's a boss
flex.
move.
That's a flex real quick.
And Rod
In
got
a
the
matter
Benz
of
truck.
seconds.
He got the Benz truck sitting out there, the white Benz truck sitting out there pretty. He was tight, though. So it just let me know, man, them parks, Joe, especially in front of my crib.
Yeah, fam. Not in the worst snowstorm since
only on
2011.
blocks with
With
houses,
with Bill
houses. If it's a block full of apartment buildings, now you can't do that.
all day.
If it's that
all
block,
day.
you gotta get it how you live anyway. You
Right.
gotta hope, hopefully you come home before it's packed up. But yeah,
My crib, though.
you get that spot in front of your crib.
In front of my crib, Joe. He was like, man, everybody on the block knows that our spots in front. Like, we know whose spots are whose in front of the crib, Joe. He was like, man, he lucky I ain't have to get petty with him. I'm like, yeah, so.
Yo, I even took it a step further with my shoveling, though, Gino. I actually halfway shoveled out my neighbor's car from the snow. I didn't do it fully.
Bro, we thinking, look, so B hit me. Shout out to B Levy, my homeboy B, next door to me. That used to be my roommate.
Of course.
So B hits me up yesterday morning like, fam, man, why don't you go ahead and shovel me out,
You
Joe?
get me too, bro.
I said, fam, I'm not shoveling myself out. So I said, but you know what? I had to shovel CP out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to shovel her out. I'm going to shovel myself out. You know what? I'm going to knock the snow off B's car. I'm going to shovel him out a little bit.
Yeah, look, see?
A little bit.
I knew I was.
As much as I could, though.
As much as I could.
My back started telling me, hey, fam, you trying to hoop tomorrow? Be cool.
Time out, fam.
Call it T.O., baby, like Dickie V. So I definitely... I dusted B's car off. The snow was looking like a hot top
It's
fade.
a whole nother whip on the whip.
On the whip.
Yeah, bro.
And on the
wild.
side. So, we stay on the big street. So when the
And
truck.
y'all gonna get the plow residue.
Joe, the residue across the street, I wish I could have taken a picture of the car. That one car across the street I told you about.
I know I can't see that
You
no
can't
more.
even see that car no more.
Till like June, though.
Y'all, he's cooked.
Good luck. Yeah.
That person is either not with us any longer or they full of shit. Excuse my language.
They just gave up on it.
Yeah, I see another car like that. Like you ain't dust your shop since the first.
Since
one.
the first one,
Yeah,
Ron,
see, that-
you cannot
that car
see.
belong to Mother Nature.
You
now.
can't see this car at all. But yesterday when they came through the snow, so the snow was like up to my window. So you got to shovel all of that. So I shoveled the Passat out. I shoveled the Civic out. Then I went up to B. He got a Civic too. So I dusted his car off, dusted all the snow off.
Love.
Then I went out to the side towards the street. I'm like, let me at least shovel his tires out.
Yeah, exactly.
So it don't get icy and you really
truly appreciate that.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
So I came back in the crib. I'm like, B, your boy looked out for you, fam.
Yes, sir.
He was like, yeah, fam, I appreciate it. He
Good
was,
neighbor action.
yeah, he was like, man, at least leave me the shovel. I'm like, fam, you don't live in my building. It's not my shovel. It's
Like, where
the
you want me to, like, in the snow?
Yeah.
Like, just stick
I'm
it
like,
in the snow for you?
You know what, B, I'm going to look out for my boy. So I did that, got him out a little bit. But, yeah, man, I came out this morning like, if you think for 1 second that I'm not about to put this chair and this table in my spot,
Oh, yeah.
you tripping.
I definitely looked at Ja. I was like, Ja. I was like the Dudley brothers, bro. I was like, Ja, get the table. Okay, it's Dev's time up in here. But yeah, bro, I totally understand. When it's this bad, you got to hold it down.
Man, look, on that note, let's take our first break. When we come back on the other side, man, we gave y'all a homework assignment on Monday, man. T finished his homework assignment. I don't know if Ron Rilla wasn't here, so Ron Rilla gets a couple days. Yeah, he
Joe finna ask what homework assignment.
We'll get to it when we come back on the other side of the break. Everybody that's in the comments, man, I know y'all were here on Monday. So if you didn't complete your homework assignment, Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Tomlin, man, we gonna have to reprimand y'all, man. You might be it might be some detention for you guys after On the Soil today, man.
We got our pink slips out.
So let's take this break. When we come back on the other side, man, let's get into our homework assignment from Monday, man. You On the Soil with the Bigs.
WIFTBPN.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
What's in it for the black people? That which we invent, of course. Let's see if we could list some black inventors using the letters WIIFTBP. Here it goes. J.T. White invented the lemon squeezer. A.C. Richardson made an insect destroyer gun. Isaac Johnson made improvements to the bicycle frame. Robert F. Fleming Jr. made the guitar. Valerie Thomas hit us with the illusion transmitter. Ow! Purdy and Jaguar gave us the folding chair. Now, go create some stuff. Make us proud, black people. It's legacy time.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, 'cause I'm black.
My nigga Dr. Mindbender behind the boards. Custom. Ain't no heroes or role models where I'm from for us to follow where I'm from. Just some niggas throwing gang signs and hollows where I'm from. They pop pills, sip lean, and bless bottles where I'm from. If you still ain't figured it out, nigga, Chicago where I'm from. Home of some of the most notable women and men to exist. But the only stars niggas on their heads, the fin and the six. Most of us settle, however some intend to get rich. We lose homies and hit the internet to pretend that they miss. We spend link at the corner store, and motherfucker ain't gotta be enlisted in no army or Marine Corps to be going to war. It's gun smoke in the air and it's blood stains on the floor. We all born poor, but yet and still we feel we born to soar. The beautiful struggle, bodies left blood oozing in puddles. We love to hate like a poisonous dart from Cupid then struck you. Shit, you stupid as fuck if you let the stupid instruct you. Should be using your muscle to build a lucrative hustle. Crabs in a bucket, so when one make it feel like we all did. From the county to Stateville, long stretches and small bids. The clucks chasing they last high. The shorties throw up middle fingers when the low pass by. They ask why we live this way. You couldn't overstand it unless you had to. Faggot police harass you. So-called homies will blast you. A message to out of towners written in blood. Don't take your dumb ass to the hood if you ain't plugged.
Spit with the curse of Capone. You gotta live with all the words you condone. Then it's on. They'll kill you dead, then bring the hearse to your home. Back in my shorty days, niggas would put a 40 to your sporting waves. Nowadays, these niggas thugging on phones. How was nice, I used to play for the Dome. Philly been chillin'. But when you ball, get you a gun, it'd be like Ben Wilson, the pin drilling. Fuck how out of towners view the shot. I'm out west where every conflict crucial is do or die. If it's war, it's gonna be to the death. It's you or I. I come at peace, but if you touch my body, that's suicide. And my bloodline is niggas that'll kill and move a pie. I got a QP and sold it to my mans at U of I. My pop told me, just get through high school, then you decide. In the shy, it's the six of the fan. Choose a side, move and slide. The city don't wanna see you with shit. From politicians to the preachers, hard to see who legit. Sell some seed for you to see green and piece you to fit. It's I am God and the God green who's seeing this shit. Let's go. If you think it's love here, then pump your brakes. This the wild onion, a dark ass city that love to hate. Let's go.
Scooter Chose came with it too.
That's some real news, some new.
Man, tragedy, man. Shout out to I Am God, man. He's in the building right now, man. He got a new album dropping April 2nd. Y'all can go tap in with him, actually, man. He got pre-orders ready. He got vinyl. He got CDs. He got all type of stuff, man. He got a new situation with a company in the Chi that's going to be releasing his album. He sent me the early copy last night. And it was an easy 4-mic, if we taking it back to the source, man, it was an easy 4-mic listen on my first go-round. I told him I'm going to give it a better listen tonight, throw the beats on at nighttime and
Seclude yourself.
Find a different vibe. But it was an easy 4 mics. I told him today, man, this is what makes me still listen to, rap music. This is the rap music that hits my soul. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple bangers on there that really touch you, man. If you into lyrics and into pictures being painted, some ill pictures being painted. So it was overall, it was a dope project. But I'm gonna give it a better listen, man. So y'all tap in to my boy, Mr. West. He's in the building right now, rocking on the soil with the brothers. And man, show him some love. April 2nd, the album is coming. And we gonna be playing some exclusive on the soil, man. You know how we get out.
I love it.
But yeah, man,
Before we get into the
homework assignment, man, I got to let the people
the law of the land down, bruh.
Look here, man. When you rocking on the soil with the brothers, when you listening to the Maze Jackson show, the Book of Dawn, Week Ho Wednesdays, I said what I said.
Yes, sir. Parenting in a pandemic.
Yes. Muwakil's World, I said what I said. Absolutely. Whatever show you rocking with on the What's in It for the Black People Media Network, man. We need y'all to smash them like buttons, smash them share buttons, hit the comment section, join the conversation as you guys always do. Continue to help us push our content and the culture forward, man. It's all about us owning the black voice. We tired of other people telling our stories, man. Who better to hear from than us? You know the hashtag, man. It's us. So
it's us, bro.
There would be no On the Soil. There would be no What's in It for the Black People Media. There would be none of that without the people, without the family members.
Zero.
So we appreciate everybody out there tuned in on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, yes. Periscope, the Gram, LinkedIn, wherever
all
you watching.
Family.
Yeah,
all
man.
Y'all family.
If you at work on your lunch break and you took a few minutes out, or if you working, if you at your desk and got On the Soil on your iPad or on your phone
while on the low, you got your hand up over your ear, you catching, the bigs today.
Yeah, man, you ain't
Thank
really.
you.
Yeah, your boss all on getting on your nerves. And
you on your Zoom like this.
Like, man, let me catch.
We appreciate
you, man. Yeah, we love the people, man. So shout out to y'all. We appreciate it. But man,
yeah, Gino, I was looking forward to the homework assignment, man. Should we update the people? Let them know what the assignment was first real quick.
Well, I see Boosie says she failed the homework assignment. She's one of them people that come to the class and you like...
just a zero?
Boosie, where's your homework?
You ain't going to get like a 60%. Like
0.
We'll see if we can find a way to get her some points anyway.
All right, man. Let the people know about the homework assignment, man.
We had to finish watching Judas and the Black Messiah, man.
Finished. You got to start.
Start, finish. A couple of people fell asleep on it. You had to complete the movie by 41 minutes ago today at 1 o'clock when the show started. I hope everybody did. I did. I got a chance to watch it. Shout out to HBO Max. Side note that I love. It's my favorite streaming service. But where do we start, Gino? Since you were, I feel like, the first one to watch it out of the bunch. Where do we start as far as the conversation with it today, having seen the movie?
I would love to. So, Ron, you ain't seen the movie yet, have you?
I definitely saw it, and I get where you coming from after seeing it. It's definitely not Chicago aesthetic.
Is that where you want to start with?
We can start where you want to start.
We'll start with the Chicago aspect, and No, it wasn't Chicago. It wasn't like Chicago. You know what I mean? As far as from what your explanation of Chicago was, yeah, it didn't really capture the time. But here's what you know, when I marinated on it, bro. This is what I ended up feeling is that situation. You know what I mean? With the Black Panther Party, with Fred Hampton, with the FBI in Chicago. I mean, with the FBI and how they were carrying out shit back then. It was bigger than Chicago. Yeah, I mean, it was a situation that was bigger than what was real, which I know Chicago was tied to our heart, but I feel like that situation was on a bigger scale than just what was going on in Chicago.
But see, that's another problem I had. Not to cut you off, you.
Go ahead. That's
another problem I had because even though, the Black Panther movement was on a bigger scale, then that wasn't even showed in the movie. That wasn't even forecast. They didn't even really highlight what the Black Panther movement was about and what they did.
Because that wasn't what the movie was about.
But like you said, the movie is called Judas.
There you go.
And the Messiah.
Okay, this is.
See, now I feel like when you watch a movie like this, there are some prerequisites. Like, if you're watching a movie on Fred Hampton, I feel like it's safe to assume that you know who the Black Panthers were.
Now remember what I said on Monday. You would have thought.
But see now, I feel like if you don't know, then that's another avenue to go down and do some research on.
So this movie was not for people who don't already know about Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers.
Who was the movie for?
Who was the movie for? I feel like that's a good question.
Because I don't think it was. I don't think it was for either.
I don't snitches. I think it's for the white people. I really think this movie catered. I kind of, after rewatching it the second time and seeing,
you watched it twice. Okay.
And then the Rotten Tomato gave it a 99%. After that, it kind of made me. I was taken back. Like, the white people are praising this because of it's glorifying the FBI and the snitch.
So this is my thing, Ron. After sitting back and thinking about it, because I didn't watch it again, because I didn't need to watch it again. When I sat back and thought about it, and like Boosie said, I don't think it was even an intro to Fred Hampton. It wasn't. Because like I said, the first 5 minutes of the movie.
It was a timeline of how Fred Hampton was murdered.
The first 5 minutes of the movie.
It started on how the FBI hooked the man that killed.
Boom.
Or that set Fred Hampton up.
Boom.
But see, now we'll get to that as well. As far as what you said, Ron, what did you just say, bro? You thought that
it highlighted, like,
you thought it glorified the FBI
and the snitching aspect. Yeah.
But hold on now. When I sat back and thought about it again, when I just thought about the title, Judas and the Black Messiah. We all know who Judas was. You don't have to be.
Messiah was
the backstabber.
So what the movie said to me in the title, I didn't even have to watch it, even though I did. But I'm saying if I could just put the title in context, Judas.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna always be a Judas.
I've been seeing now exactly.
And the Messiah, we can take him out whenever we feel like it.
But see, and the Black Messiah. But see, now it's on record that the FBI's mission was to eliminate any Black Messiah, anybody that captured the heart of people and could, in turn, fight for equity. You know what I mean? Now, what I feel like, and you know what? It kind of reminded me of a few other Black-centered, like whether it be television shows or movies, basically a trend in Black entertainment or Black cinema or drama. And I'm thinking about Lovecraft Country. I'm thinking about Watchmen with Regina King. What they showed you is what happens when we actually are doing the things that people are still saying. Well, why don't we start an organization that feeds the children? Why don't we start our own communities in our own economies? We saw in Tulsa that when that happened, they blew up the whole damn town. And then in this movie, we saw that even with Fred Hampton, as good as he was, and I thought the movie showed or did a good job at distinguishing that, and this is why I say it didn't glorify the FBI, because I thought it did a good job at distinguishing that the FBI and Wild Bill were the shitbags.
Right.
You feel me? And that Fred Hampton was actually a man for the people. They were not out here to destroy or do anything like super wild, like blow up City Hall or anything when they brought him that. So I feel like when you talk about the name Judas in this equation, it was to show you that this is how you kill a revolution.
All day.
You know what I mean?
All day.
You know what I mean? Like he did play a huge role in why things are the way they are. What happened to the Black Panther Party? Like he took them down. You know what I mean? From the inside. What did Hov say on the track with Jay Electronic? He say no civilization can be taken down unless it's from within. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's exactly what happened with the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther, which was on the way to doing some very special things. And although they were facing hell, and one thing they didn't do, one thing I feel like they didn't do a good job of, is show the extent that the FBI messed with the Black Panther. Like,
and there you go.
You know
They didn't show.
They ruined their lives, fam. Like they destroyed their lives individually, one dude at a time. You know what I mean? One person at a time.
I feel like they couldn't properly portray you. First of all, for people that knew about
much
Fred,
more than 2 hours.
Period. But I'm saying, for people that knew about Fred Hampton and the Black Panther movement, you couldn't. There was no. I feel like there was no less of what they get. You couldn't give any less than what they gave you, because we wasn't gonna go off that, period. Like, I don't think they. Obviously, again, it wasn't a Fred Hampton biopic. So I just feel like, and it's Hollywood. Like you said, a lot of the things like Bobby Rush said, and hey, Bobby Rush, he's neither here nor there at this point in time. But he said a lot of that stuff was not real. And it's Hollywood, so obviously it's a movie.
Oh yeah.
But I'm saying that to say, as far as Fred Hampton is concerned, there was no way that they were going to show who the real Fred Hampton was. Now, yeah, they'll show him speaking the I am a revolutionary and all of that, because that's what we know already.
Exactly.
Like you really had to dig deep, and that was my point.
To
like,
get more of the militant side.
There you go. And of course, they weren't going to shine light on that. They weren't going to shine light on the true meaning of Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party. Yeah. We all knew, if you're in tune with any part of that, then we knew about the free breakfast programs. We knew about what they did for the hood. We knew that Fred was here to shine a light on our people, to put pride in our people.
Now, I did see one thing in this movie that I don't usually see, I feel like, in black film. You know what I mean? The scene where, and it's a true, if you can add any historical context to it, to this part of the movie, when they had the gangs meet in the gymnasium.
Well, it was really the Stones, but they called them the Crowns.
The Crowns, whatever. Right. I read that they didn't give them permission to use their name in the movie.
But you remember what
Buddy? Didn't he mention the Stones? Because he said the Crowns, the Stones, and the Disciples. He didn't. I didn't hear him mention the Lords. You know what I mean? So now he said the Stones when they was riding to the gymnasium.
Right.
So he was like the Crowns, the Stones, and the Disciples.
Right. But the Lords didn't have nothing to do with that. The Feds sent that letter to Jeff Fort. Now, I'm pretty sure they sent that letter to some other people too, but they sent the letter to the Stones and Jeff Fort. But you heard what Buddy said about when they was like, yeah, Fred's supposed to be going back to the joint. He was like, yeah, that ain't good enough, though. You know what happened when you send people to jail?
Huey Newton became a star.
Come on, brother.
Eldridge Cleaver became a best-selling author.
Jeff Fort is still alive. The Blackstone Nation is still alive. You can't shed no light. You can't get them people no light. So the Crowns, it was like, and I understood that, like you said, whether they gave them permission or not to use the Stones.
Yeah,
they wasn't gonna shed no light on. Why would you?
No, but what about the? I feel like the meaning of that scene. What do we see in that scene? Them coming together,
right? But that's something that we knew about Fred Hampton. If you knew anything about Fred and the Black Panthers, you knew that was a strength of his. That was one of his main characteristics.
They didn't leave it out. You know what I mean?
You couldn't leave it out.
But I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad we actually saw that. You know what I mean? What that makes me feel is you can show this to a younger generation and take some good stuff out of it.
Yeah, see,
You know what I mean?
I know how to separate my personal feelings from my opinion, because it is a good movie. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a well-written movie for the most part. Keith did his thing.
Great acting.
The actors was good for the most part. The accent, Fred Hampton was
It
kind
was
of
a little too much for me, yeah.
But the acting for the most part, everything was aesthetically good. Personally, I just didn't like the messaging of the movie. I just didn't personally like the movie. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good movie. I wouldn't tell nobody it's a bad movie.
I didn't think it was a bad movie. That's not, like, again, and I said this before Monday when we talked about it last week. I would have rather watched, there's enough YouTube.
I'm tired of seeing the past, I'm tired of them showing us what they effed us up at. You know what I'm saying? Give us some fiction, man. Show us a solution. At least I'm tired of seeing it in films.
Now, I feel like it's up to us to find the solutions. You know what I mean? I feel like if we're waiting to find the solutions, and
even if you're gonna do movies,
like
you know
I
what I'm
feel like
saying,
we're waiting to find the solutions in film, then we're watching it for the wrong reasons. What I took from it is so many avenues to start your own research, which is how which is the essence of Fred Hampton. You know what I mean? Doing your own research and coming up with your own solutions. You know what I mean? Now, what I said about this being another glimpse into what happens when we do those things. Like Tupac got a great line where he's like, "Look, we've been starting our own businesses. We've been running for politics for years. When is it gonna give?" Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers, what they were doing for the community in Chicago, we haven't really seen since. And I don't want to dim the light of anybody that's out here doing a shout out to my block, my hood, my Chicago.
But that ain't, I'm not.
But what it is though is that we get to see what doing something really is.
But was the Panthers? You can't compare what the Black Panthers were doing to anything that anybody else is doing.
No, but see, now it's only one of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they certainly spawned. I'm sure, like anybody that's in the community right now, one of their inspirations is the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. You know what I mean? I would consider that the basics of people's inspirations that are doing it today.
It has to be.
It's literally on the wall right next to y'all. Literally.
Exactly.
That's why I chose this camera, so I could show that in the back. But I'm saying the Panthers stood for more than what people
a
lot more than they showed.
Yeah, man. And what you saying about continuing the movement?
The basis of.
But it's like if you gonna make a movie,
the extent of what you know about the Panthers, it has to be the spark. You know what I mean? For those that need a spark, I feel like it certainly provides numerous areas where you can start research that can lead you down a whole path of stuff.
Yeah, you could do that, but why do it through the eyes of Judas? Why not just do it the regular way through Hampton? For Hampton, why make it about Judas if that's the case?
Not?
If you want the research to really be done thoroughly, you know.
Why not? I mean, I feel like at the end of the movie, you saw wax. I mean, he's on wax, showing you that he died a rat. Basically, I feel like his comments saying that, "Oh, I was part of," they was like, "What would you tell your son?"
And whether he.
But his answer shows you that he died a rat. He could never come to grips with the fact that he was a rat and died a rat.
But that's what I'm saying.
He was telling himself the same stuff he was telling himself in the process.
Man, William O'Neal, brother. Whether they say he jumped off the bridge in 91 or whether he was shot and killed, whatever the case may be, there's no way in hell. Whether he said, okay, when I was going through that, I knew I was wrong. Well, he was too deep already. You wasn't going to tell the Panthers, man, G, you know what? I done had enough of this. I'm out. Because they already knew something was up.
Exactly. Then he dips after Fred gets killed, targets on his ass.
Then the FBI knew you wasn't going to tell them you was done because that was your ass either way. So,
hey, you know he was 17?
Who? William O'Neal, yeah, he said he was 16.
Dog, but that's the movie.
Yeah, he said.
So just think about this though, real talk. Cause my man,
17.
He was 16, 17, still in cars.
Hey Joe, my man Brian Gorman hit me up, and I'm gonna tell you that threw me for a loop. Cause when you watch the movie, you thinking dude is like
25,
30
been
something.
through some things.
Can you imagine at 17 the FBI deciding, and let me just tell you this other thing, and then I'm gonna y'all saw I had to run in here because I'm over here like, damn, I'm loving this discussion. Man, I was watching. Did you know that whole movie, like the Fred Hampton component of it, was it's a biography that you could watch on YouTube.
That's what I was about to say, man.
It's like the whole everything that they did on Fred Hampton was in there.
I was about to tell you the same thing.
You can watch, instead of watching the African dude.
I was about to tell you the same thing,
Joe. I watched the joint like, okay, they literally just took this movie, clipped it up, and then they took the Fred Hampton joint from live things, had somebody act, and then inserted the William O'Neal story in between it. Hey, Joe, that movie was deep, but I feel like it is very misleading, and I'm concerned that our viewpoint of the Panthers will be shaped
by that movie. And that's why I was telling him, I'm like,
and ain't nobody, check this out.
Ain't
nobody going, I think that, and I think we here at What's in It for the Black People Media gotta recognize we are not the same. We are not the same. It's like the level of consciousness that exists between the people that walk through these doors every day to sit in front of the mic. Just the fact that you would make yourself available for What's in It for the Black People Media instead of saying, man, I ain't finna be on that shit. Or, man, I'm on some down the block, or I'm on some. And I would say that most of our people are content with the movie. They content with taking their knowledge. And I ain't gonna even lie, Gino. If you wouldn't have jaded me from the beginning. Here's my thing. I already knew about the Panthers. I already read. I felt like watching it wasn't nothing I didn't know.
Exactly.
I feel like this was coming up, but I'm watching my wife, and my wife is like, damn.
Okay.
She like, hold on. She like, wait, what?
See, now, Maze, I feel like what you just said about the masses taking this movie for what it is what we're used to. You know what I mean? Now, what we need to look at is the views of these videos on YouTube and how high they rise from there. Because I feel like even just with social media, even if you don't see the movie, I guarantee you that your timeline, some original documentary with actual footage of what went down back then has floated across your timeline in some kind of way. Like, you got to see Fred and hear his voice in some kind of way.
But
you know what I mean?
That's the thing. But if you go, and there's many, not even just the documentary Maze is talking about. There's so many different videos on YouTube about Fred and the Black Panthers from their perspective
that were hidden gems until this movie came
exactly,
out. Like,
because like you said, nobody, you got to think about the masses. Of course, like I was saying, the guys that wrote the movie, the twins from Jersey. Jersey has like a semi-Chicago type of background where they have, it's a smaller city, but we share some of the same similarities.
Yeah.
So the background is there. But other than that, LA, Chicago, and maybe
New York, like
maybe,
yeah,
or wherever else there may be a semblance of blackness. Atlanta,
Oakland,
exactly.
LA, and it ain't no blackness. It ain't no semblance of blackness in LA. No
exactly.
More.
It's all, but that's right. Oakland, Atlanta,
yes.
Where Dr. King and the SCLC was, and maybe Jersey and New York and a couple spots here and there. But other than that, the masses have no clue about the Black Panther Party and Fred Hampton, especially if it wasn't passed on.
Hey, Joe, I'm telling you, watching the wife, Like I was really getting kind of salty during the movie, Gino. You really blew the movie for me.
Did I?
You blew the movie for me. You really did.
I told you
You blew the movie for me.
Well, how did I? What did I? All I said was you gonna know what it was about in the first 5 minutes.
Right, and then in the first 5 minutes, I knew what it was about.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, damn. I get a bit suspenseful. Like,
okay.
You know how you could be waiting and you like, I see what he's doing. Right, it was like I see where Gino was going with this. But yo, Joe, my wife. Then I saw these people from Texas on the timeline talking. They was like, "Oh my God, did you see this?" And they was going. I was like, "Man, there wasn't nothing new in the movie except the William O'Neal. Like they told us his straight up story,
right?"
And they was like, "No, man, we didn't know that." Like, and I thought here coming from Chicago, like I literally thought that Fred Hampton to the world was like. At least like Stokely Carmichael, at a minimum. But I really felt like he would be up there in the pantheon of like every city and every state people knew.
No way.
Like my mama, like Joe, I feel like that joint was real to my mama. Cause she, like I was born right after it happened.
Okay.
So she, like I just remember even up to like 1979, 1980, my mama being like, and what they did to Fred Hampton and Mark Clark was just terrible and just. But I'm saying, and so I'm thinking. Then when I hear Jay say, Jay do the line in the song, I'm like, everybody know. And then I realized, watching this movie, man, people didn't know. They did not know. They had no clue.
And I was telling him on Monday's show, I said, man, you would think that, especially coming from the crib, people our age would know the history of Fred Hampton. Boy, you know how many people that I know personally that said, man, I didn't know the police did Fred Hampton. I'm like, bro, where you been? But then I had to scale back. And like you said, the 85%ers are real, man.
Yo.
Joe, I'm telling you.
Super real, first of all.
It was like when I was saying that, but I feel like we're the eyeballs.
The 5%.
Yes. We're the eyeballs. Minority. Right. Like we talk about blackness and about black stuff and black history and black. And I'm telling you that I honestly believe, like Joe, I have to like instill that in my kids.
You have to. You have to.
Hey man, ain't no Color Me Brown book no more. Ain't no Color Me Brown. Ain't no books. Ain't no. Well, hey Joe, I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy out here, and to know that is gonna be Black History, Joe. That's gonna be the new Eyes on the Prize. Watch in Bolingbrook. Oh man, that's the Black History Month movie.
Oh man,
that's the Black History Month movie.
We see now, if that's the case, then it's important that we shape it the right way. And to my last point, we gotta stop saying it was about William O'Neal. Like it was about the hooking of William O'Neal. Like I don't know when he was born. I don't know.
It didn't, because that don't matter.
What it was like when he came up.
None of that matters.
But I don't know that about Fred Hampton from the movie either.
Because it wasn't about Fred Hampton.
It was about the murder of Fred Hampton.
It was more about the William O'Neal and the FBI.
Was it about the murder of the last hope? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
The murder of Fred Hampton was the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
If it was about the murder of Fred Hampton, then it would have been.
Like he got his murder scene movie was the last, but the build up.
That movie was what was the name of that documentary? The murder of Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
That all of the clips from the murder of Fred Hampton was the exact same. They just acted them out.
Crazy.
They just Joe, I watched the joint, like everything from blowing up the whole joint to the wife to Fred. They did that documentary, and then they took it and they spliced the William O'Neal story in between it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So they took everything that we already knew, and then they added the snitch in between. And they kind of glamorized his ass.
But see, now, did they?
That's what I said.
Did they glamorize? Because every time we saw his character, he was a scumbag. He was never.
But the way he was
eating good.
Yeah, the way he was smiling and the way
he was a scumbag. You knew he was eating good because he was eating off the people Like you saw the conversation when he was like, we need the outline of the apartment. He came flashy. He came in his best suit.
Right.
You knew he had been knee deep in snitching to get that suit. It ain't like he worked hard and earned it. You knew he had snitched his way to another lifestyle.
They know what 6ix9ine did too, and they still love him.
But you knew
There's
that didn't come honorably.
6 years of my life behind bars, or the end of the Black Panther movement.
Now at 17,
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. At first of all, fuck at 17.
But
fuck at 17.
You talking about being vulnerable?
I'm gonna tell you 6 years or them niggas over there.
Oh, them niggas over there.
6 years.
Oh, they gotta go.
6 years for you or them niggas over there. Call it. They could be folks. They could be vice lords. They could be Masons. They could be Sigmas. They could be 6 years to you. Hey, Joe, let me tell you. All you got to do is be in the county.
I'm good.
Be in the county.
Woo.
Be there after they took you out the holding cell. You already trying to get the fuck out the holding cell. Now you get to the back, and the motherfucker say, hey, Joe, you want to go home tonight? Like today. You don't even got to go back there tonight. Or them niggas over there.
Oh, boy, them who? What? How many of them niggas over there? All of them?
Hey, Joe. Motherfuckers be talking that stand tall shit.
Man, please.
And if you in the midst of it, you don't realize the reason that Fred Hampton and the reason it's such a big deal partially is because of the martyrdom. Mm-hmm. Right? Because we look at the dream unfulfilled. Because Fred Hampton could have turned out to be Bobby Rush.
And that's why I said, Bobby
I'm just saying.
No, I agree. That's why I said, and Bobby like,
So, I'm just saying. So, it's just like Biggie. We are enamored with, let me show 100% deference and 100% respect. But we are enamored with the hope of what would have been.
All day.
But see now.
And dude didn't know.
Facts.
Dude, like, and were it for no William O'Neal, I don't know that we would be talking about Fred Hampton.
I can agree with you 100% on that.
Joe, cause if he lives through that, where are the people that lived through that? They still are here. Again, Bobby Rush. So now what we are, it's like the legend of the chairman is because it was a dream unfulfilled. Because
totally.
How many people, how many revolutionaries?
Boy, they all gone. They all dead.
See,
so the ones that live.
But I feel like that's the point. You know what I mean? What you just said, Gino, is the point. The best of us, Fred, Martin, Malcolm, you know what I mean? They were never going to live. We were always going to be stuck with the second best. You kill Martin, we get Jesse. You kill Fred, we get Bobby. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that the point of killing them? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And, okay, so no shade to anybody, but
exactly.
The reward, it's like, again, here go the lick, Joe. And the only person that I done ever read that done took the right path is Jesus. Because the devil take you up to the top of the mountain. And he say, look, you can have all of this. All of it. Just bow down. Just kiss the ring. Now, somebody takes you to the top of the mountain. They say, now, you see what happened to that nigga over there. Right? And I thought it was quite coincidental. It's like, you can't allow him to die and there be rage. You got to get the next motherfucker and say, hey, Joe, either you going to be like him or you could be mad at the motherfucker, but we ain't blowing up shit. You can lead them niggas. Y'all can march around this motherfucker 300 times. Y'all can call us every crack in the world. But we do know that at the end of the day, ain't gonna be no revolution. We clear?
Mm-hmm.
We clear. Now you talk all that.
And that's funny that because somebody asked me about
from the movie, man.
Somebody asked me.
I got to go be with my family. And look, Joe, if I'm the FBI, I'm the head of. Okay, I'm not even gonna go here. But if I'm the minister of security, and chairman is under watch, ain't no what hell no. What no you don't go home. You don't get to go home.
Right.
They was pretty clear about that too. They was very, I mean, they was so crystal in the movie. And then all you got to do is then watch that documentary again and watch what happened after. And, hey, Joe.
That's important. See? You see, but see now what Maze just said is great. You know what I mean? As far as now, after you watch the movie and go see that documentary about what happened after. You know what I mean? And like you said, man, to your point, we are a small ratio of people that's going to take in this movie. You know what I mean? But what you just said is exactly what I did. I feel like, Gino, you in the same conversation. You know what happened after. You know what I mean?
I just don't think, this is me. I think that if you were a moviegoer and you in the 85%, that was enough.
Come on, brother. Say it again.
Enough.
Say it again.
I don't need to watch an hour and a half of black and white. I'm done. I saw the movie. Didn't nobody go out and read the book Black Panther.
Come on, man.
Didn't nobody go get the Black Panther comic books. Now, niggas did make Janet Jackson #1 again with Control, but that was on the internet. Because they didn't have the original album, though. And all I'm just saying is, all I'm trying to tell you is, brother, is that we get spoiled in this space. We get so spoiled in this space because everybody somewhere in their consciousness has blackness on the mind at all times. We may not agree about what part of blackness, but blackness is somewhere on your mind all the time. I would tell you the average dude that's shopping at Tops and Bottoms, that's shopping at DTLI, that's riding in his Charger, that's got his rent, that's doing his thing. Hey, you think he finna YouTube? He ain't finna YouTube Chairman Fred. He just synced the movie.
Come on, bro.
Fuck, I gotta watch this black and white. But what I am about to watch is Lil Lord and them and they video from over here
all day
in full color.
Yep.
And then be like, man, I wasn't gonna go out like that. And this how we gonna treat these marks that's tricks. Well, this how we gonna treat a snitch around here, motherfucker. Ain't no motherfucker. Next thing a motherfucker gonna be like, I ain't Chairman Fred. You gonna see motherfuckers getting turned upside down because they gonna be like, I ain't drinking no cool. They'll take their lessons, but they ain't going back to do the research. I ain't seeing that. I'm just not.
I can't even argue with that.
It's like they gonna roll up a blunt. Motherfuckers gonna be like, they gonna imagine themselves as Chairman Fred, right? Mm-hmm. In full color. Mm-hmm. And shit, that's dude played Black Panther. He played both Black Panthers, goddammit. Fuck, I'm just saying it. You think about the niggas you talking about.
I see it when I'm out, I see it every day.
Pull up on Madison and Pulaski. Who is outside? You think anybody is showing the black and white version?
Not a single soul.
Can I tell you, I did not. Do y'all know I live 1 block from where the man was murdered? Do you realize all that footage in that black and white is literally my block?
Right there, all day.
The Panthers headquarters was at Pete's.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Madison and Western.
Right. Pete's.
Wow.
Pete's. The pawn shop, they shot all the videos outside the pawn shop.
Right.
And then they shot shit in fucking Ohio.
Yeah. And New York. Yeah, Ohio and New York.
Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I did not mean to. Hey, man, y'all have me in there.
Like,
y'all snapping
put the exclamation point on it.
No, this is great. This is great.
Thank y'all. I appreciate the opportunity to share some time with the bigs. Y'all see I've been rocking y'all hat all week.
Oh, I see it.
I see.
For sure. All right.
No, that's word, man.
Yes, sir.
That
definitely. I feel like that was the conversation that that should have been had after the movie for sure.
Yeah, but I'm with him. I mean, we see it every day. We got our guys. We got our people. We know that Hollywood, TV, radio, it shapes most of our lives.
Mhm.
That's real life to us.
And see, what I do know is that me personally, on a personal level, I had that spark that, the spark that I'm talking about, I'm hoping people get from this movie is a spark I got when I was a shorty watching, when my parents holding me down, teaching me, watching the original Eyes on the Prize, all of that, you know what I mean? Right. So definitely years, away from that, so I understand that I'm probably being a little naive.
Hey, it's all good.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to hope, all I can tell you is what it made me do. So hope and then share it with y'all.
It's all about just adding, like I said, hopefully, and I'm thinking that, YouTube and all these other outlets weren't available.
Exactly, new ways.
Yeah, that wasn't available when we were coming up. So hopefully this spawns that.
Had the encyclopedia with the names.
That you got, all of that. So now
library cards.
We are in a movement now. There's a movement going on, and hopefully the next generation who are at the forefront and are leading the next movement, hopefully that sparks something in them to want to do the knowledge and go back, like I said, because I've seen all of that footage that Maze was talking about before this. But once I watched it made me want to go back and rewatch it again.
But I'm saying any kind of movie they would have created would have made people want to do that research. Regardless. So if they would have told it from Fred's point, if they would have told it from Fred's wife's point, people still were going to go back and YouTube those videos and research. So it didn't have to be from that O'Neill's. That's my whole thing. It didn't have to be from a snitch's point of view.
You see, now I feel that. I mean, and that's another way they could have took it to the William O'Neill. And then maybe that's my last point on it. Gee, this is one of the roles that Lakeith Stanfield was born to play. Like, the man, was acting his ass off from an acting standpoint. I totally feel like he moved up a notch in like my personal favorites because the man's just wicked. Like, he's one of those thespians artists that completely ingested that role and became this snitch dude. You know what I mean? And I hope, and then also I feel like it's on guys like him and Daniel Kaluuya. So I like the interviews they showed as far as their perspective on it.
May I just say one more thing? I don't think we can just minimize William O'Neill to the level of a snitch, right? I think a snitch is the dude that told how many bags you had. I think he may not have recognized the gravity of what he was doing, but he was definitely more than a snitch.
He was an informant.
And that's what I'm saying as far as it being told from his point of view.
That was straight COINTELPRO for real. That was an orchestrated program. They had a payroll. Man, I know people we know today who will tell you that they was COINTELPRO because they got pulled over for a car and everybody could get it.
All day. All day. And like Ron said, with that, it couldn't necessarily be William O'Neill's point of view because he ain't here. So it wasn't like he told the story and then they took it from him. But there are those quotes from Eyes on the Prize and those videos of him that they could piece together. And Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield going back and watching these things, doing the prior knowledge and invoking that in their character.
You know what I think? I think the makers of this film, saw that Eyes on the Prize 2 clip and was like, damn, he looked like Lakeith Stanfield.
Let's get him.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he can play that. You know what I mean? I low-key, that may have actually happened. So I like, you know what? I would have enjoyed it from that perspective, Ron. You know what I mean? I thought that she had, when you look at it, she was pregnant at the time and basically just had to offer up her man.
And his son is still alive. It would have been great to tell through the eyes of the wife. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Can't give her no shine, bro.
They gave her moments. You know what I mean? I thought that they...
picked a great actor. She's a new upcoming good actor.
Yeah. I enjoyed her scenes for sure. But Gino, on the Sawyer, the movie edition.
Hey, man.
Forget Siskel and Ebert, fam. Gino and T, Ron and Maze, okay?
Nah, man, when it's something that deep and it's something that you know, usually if it doesn't directly affect you, then it's like you kind of take it for what it's worth and you let it slide out of bounds. But I feel like, especially us being Chicagoans, being on the soil,
yes,
and being who we are, like we said, we are the 5%. We are the poor righteous teachers. We are those guys. Man. So I feel like it hit harder, and for however it affected us in different ways, I feel like we all have the same end goal with it, is to hope that the people who are leading the next charge took what they needed to take out of it, go back and do the real knowledge on it, and not just, don't stop there. Go to Bobby Seale, go to Huey P. And take it as far as you can. Don't, you know, obviously Dr. King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. Go back to, you know, people ask me, well, why you know, if they kill all the leaders, then why Farrakhan's still here? And that's a story
about how did you make it? You know what I mean? I understand that perspective as well.
Me too. And that's another, we can talk about that another day if you want, because I definitely got thoughts on that too. Shout out to the minister for always holding it down. But man, I just hope that, like we said, man, people take it, do the knowledge, think for themselves, keep your third eye open, and you know, it's Hollywood at the end of the day, bro. So go on YouTube, Google, and the internet is your best friend. Go do the knowledge and continue to do the knowledge. And man, like I said, this thing is far from over, man. Something is gonna happen soon. I ain't sure if it's civil war or what it is, but something is gonna happen.
See,
and we gotta be ready,
about
man.
That because ain't nothing gonna happen soon.
Yeah.
But nah.
Nah, you feel me? So yeah, man, that's really all I gotta say. Everybody that didn't watch
that
the movie,
don't mean don't be ready though, but go ahead.
You stay ready. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. So I see a lot of people saying that, you know, they won't watch any of the movies. They don't have no plan on watching the movies, and that's cool too. But I'm pretty sure they're already in tune with the movement and with the situation. So, you know, just a lot of information continues to pop up. You know, CPD, the COINTELPRO, you saw what type of fugaziness that they were on. You know, Hanahan. Just go back and watch some of them documentaries and how slick,
Dick, you know what I mean?
Man, how slick them guys were, man, and how they used the Tribune to try to push that narrative that, you know, what they said about, you know, the Panther House and all. It was just enough. But then, have you seen today that Fred Hampton's crib in Maywood is now?
I did.
Okay, so it's gonna be like a community center.
Shout out to the money that was raised for that situation, because it was in dire straits. They
needed $350K. I felt like somebody was like, man, as much as Hov continues to tell us that he was born on the day Fred Hampton was killed,
handle that,
man. Come on, Hov, put that 150 up and close the deal.
Out, like, come on, ain't no way that you know that should have been in that with a movie coming out. So I'm happy that the money was raised for sure.
No doubt, man. Let's take us a break, man.
Break time.
Let's come back on the other side. And let's get into some sports, man. Draymond Green was tight the other day.
Yes.
I know you want to get into that, so we're going to talk about Draymond and his situation when we come back on the other side. You on the soil with the bigs.
WIFTBPM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Dame Lillard, and I'm rocking with the bigs.
Hey, this is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks. We're rocking with the bigs.
but don't practice shit that's in the Bible. Trigger happy, random shooting, straight bullet, baby killing. Know that nigga ain't shit, but still have a baby with him. Child support, check cash, and neck slashing, body dropping, lean sipping, loud smoking, Percocet, Molly popping, transgender praising, history erasing, instigating children misbehaving, nation of misinformation, water contaminating, land stealing, organ harvesting, prison building, school destroying, righteous mind targeting, melanin hating, racial profiling, discriminating, civilian killing, no investigation, paid vacation, flag waving, knee taking, freedom faking, fight scene, left wing, right wing, nobody does the right thing, clown ass president electing, waiting for a blessing, overly depressing, Uncle Sam tax collecting, fake nigga idolizing, in the city traumatizing, unemployment rate rising, baby daddies ain't providing, baby mamas ain't shit, rap niggas that can't spit, bunch of bitches buying body parts they really can't fit, consumerism, corporation, society, divided by color, zombies out of touch with sobriety, social media killers out for the notoriety, look at this shit and tell me what the fuck so inspiring, huh? Cancer's $1 billion industry, nigga, facts. It's profit and treating me, not healing me, nigga, facts. Ain't no difference between Trump and Hillary, nigga, facts. How long before they justify killing me, nigga? Cancer's $1 billion industry, nigga, facts. It's profit and treating me, not healing me, nigga, facts. Ain't no difference between Trump and Hillary, nigga, facts. How long before they justify killing me, nigga? Feel about it, as long as you real about it. I do this rap shit in my sleep, y'all make a big deal about it. Been out the jacks for more than half my life, but I'm still about it. Respecting the well-being of my seeds, I would kill about it. I might just be the next justice for a hashtag. If a fag ass cop think he gon' just harass track. From all the shit I seen, a part of me feeling hateful lately. Goofy's question, how could he be pro-black with biracial babies? Like you can discredit the significance of this melanin. Never been one for selling out, I'm as woke as you ever been, bitch. It's been 400 years and racism still prevalent, bitch. And every day they prove a black life is irrelevant, bitch. While we fighting amongst each other, UGD or black disciple, cripple blood, choose your weapon, click up and go whack your rival. We call them ops in the city, you win. City is sin, don't let that skyline fool you, it's a whole nother city within. Straight bullets killing these innocent kids. Come visit if you care to know just what true wilderness is. The concrete jungle where the snakes is venomous. The government obliterate the tenements, and now the drama's widespread. We lie dead over goofy shit. These shorties is thirsty to let the toolie spit. He off all types of synthetic drugs, he don't care who we hit, as long as the deed is done. Some nigga died on King Drive, but it wasn't no freedom. Shots from the heater rung. I know you rap niggas think it's your time, but shorty he the one, and I'ma be the one until kingdom come. I represent the nigga from the hood that ain't afraid to grow, that never forgot where he came from. No matter what place he go, that crazy flow you now in tune with is the product of Project Living, black pride and street knowledge mixed with goon shit. I'm multifaceted, play with me and I'm back slapping shit. I'm no pacifist, part activist, part beast with this rapping shit. Fuck they time about. Cancer's $1 billion industry, nigga, facts. It's profit and treating me, not healing me, nigga, facts. Ain't no difference between Trump and Hillary, nigga, facts. How long before they justify killing me, nigga? Cancer's $1 billion industry, nigga, facts. It's profit and treating me, not healing me, nigga, facts. Ain't no difference between Trump and Hillary, nigga, facts. How long before they justify killing me?
Bothering me, and it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the bat, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional, and if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. You know, we talk all of this stuff about you can't do this, you can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond is getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great, to come out here and be in shape, to produce for fans every single night, and most importantly, to help your team win, do you think that doesn't affect someone mentally? But as players, we're told to, no, you can't say that, you can't say this, but teams can. It goes along the same lines of when everyone wants to say, oh, man, that young guy can't figure it out. But no one wants to say the organization can't figure it out. At some point, the players must be respected in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow or Wednesday.
Can we get a standing ovation for the man, Draymond Green? Man, for really just letting it all out, was it last night or a couple of nights ago, in response to, a plethora of reports that Blake Griffin is now inactive because the Pistons are looking to trade him. The same with Andre Drummond and a few other players around the league this year. But we see it all the time, you know what I mean? And I feel like he hit every single point that he needed to. If he was going to talk about that, and what I think the conversation is how do these teams, every sport, not just in the NBA, how do they view these players, man? Because it obviously isn't human. I mean, they don't view them as men or women. They view them totally as products. You know what I mean? Which is, I feel like what Draymond could have easily, he could have just went the Kanye route. He could have went the Kanye George Bush route and just said,
y'all don't care about us.
He could have just said that. But he laid it all out and gave you every single piece of proof that's needed. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's totally going, in reality, these leagues are going to have to come to a day of reckoning where they give up even more piece of the pie. And also give these players power because, Gino.
Nope.
The players are going to wake up one day.
No, they
The players are going to wake up one day, and they not going to play for these dudes one day, Joe.
Man, they could have been did that.
They could have been did. I don't disagree with that. But I totally feel like that is a real possibility when you get players like Draymond coming out and saying stuff like that.
Draymond ain't powerful enough. And shout out to Draymond. I'm happy that he said that. But it don't matter because LeBron ain't going to say that.
No, but see now, this is something else that's going to happen. People are going to stop using that big dog mentality when it comes to LeBron and the other faces in the league. And they think just
who's going to follow Draymond?
If I feel like more players than not feel exactly how Draymond feels.
They're not gonna say it.
But if they had to choose,
they would choose to be where they are now, making $20 million a year and shutting up and dribbling the basketball. Them guys who pay Draymond Green's checks? What are they called?
Owners. Class. I'm sorry.
Say it again. What's their title?
But even that has to change.
Well, it's not. What's their title?
That has to change.
What is their title?
They are the people that bought the team.
But what are they called?
They're basically like customers of the NBA. Okay,
but what are they called?
Them owners. You know.
Hey, you don't want to call them owners, but that's what they are.
I don't want to call them owners because it definitely gives that pretense that we're talking about product and not humans.
Okay, well let's get this straight. Let's start right here. First of all, the teams do not have to present their plans to players.
Nobody's saying that the NBA can't do that. But what he's saying is the players should be able to do it too.
No, you shouldn't.
I should be able to.
No, you shouldn't.
If the situation ain't right for me, I should be able to come
No,
out
you
and
shouldn't.
be like, I want to change my situation. I'm open to something new.
No, you shouldn't.
Instead, you get fined for that. You may get suspended for it. But why? Okay, now tell me though, Gino, why not?
What do you mean?
Why can't they do that?
Because that's in their contract.
But do you agree that they should be able to do it? If they should be able to
that
do
ain't
it,
their league.
Draymond should only be the first player.
We should have free health care. We should have a lot of shit.
My health care is free. Shout out to anybody.
Shout out to.
But see now.
But you feel, but see,
Draymond can't be the last. Like it needs to be somebody else to come out and say something today.
Who? LeBron?
D-Rose.
If he ain't powerful, don't nobody care what D-Rose got to say.
So if
he been saying
if LeBron says it, then
it still don't matter.
We saw that. Yeah, we saw that. That's true with the Miami. Like it doesn't matter.
That's my point.
He was the only one to vote to sit out. And they didn't follow him on that.
Who?
The rest of the players.
LeBron voted to sit out?
Yeah, he voted to keep the protest going, and the rest of the players voted to get back to it.
Last year?
Yeah.
In the bubble?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the one that hit up Obama, and Obama told them to get back to work.
The vote, and I forgot what article it was. I wish I would have shared it on the show when I saw it. But the vote that they took to get back to work, LeBron was the only player to vote to keep the protest going. And I'm not saying that to give LeBron credit.
No doubt.
Let's continue the trend.
They ain't.
LeBron doesn't dictate what goes on in this league.
I agree with that. So if LeBron said what Draymond said, it still wouldn't matter. Because he ain't going to say, you know what, I'm not playing no more.
Because then they need action behind it.
There we go, T.
Gee, we've been without the league. You know what I mean?
They ain't been without the league, though.
Months without the league.
We don't get paid from the league. We pay to watch the league.
And that's, to your point, that is eventually why they came back, which is the hook. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the bread, which is exhausting. You know what I mean? It's like
man,
you circle back to it, it comes back to the bread. Like Lester in The Wire said, bro, you follow the money.
You read $40 Million Slave?
I have not, bro.
You know about the book, though, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. We don't have to tell you anything.
How many more millions can Cube get at the Big Three? Can we turn that into a 5-on-5?
Yeah, with all the players that
let's get
past their heyday.
Who can we get? Carmelo and Vince Carter over there. Like, can we
at the Big Three?
They got to chomp at the minimum age. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, let's get players that's still in the league.
It ain't the NBA, bro.
It's exhausting, bro, because I totally feel like everything Draymond said is right. And if they put action behind that, I would totally be behind it. But see, now, what my question would be after that is, if that's the case, what is the purpose of what Draymond said? What do you think he tried to accomplish with that? Is it just to have that sound?
He was fed up. No, I don't think he was I don't think he was looking for his 5 minutes of fame.
It was no purpose.
No, he saw what was going on.
I got a mic in front of me now.
This is ridiculous. But my contract in their league.
And I like my owner.
Come on, bro. Man, signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. Yeah. So shout out to Draymond because I feel him 100%, but that's their league, bro. Those people don't have to tell you anything. I'm pretty sure.
I agree.
I'm pretty sure somewhere in that contract it states.
I feel that.
But again, that's why you got a manager, an attorney, an agent, another manager, and all these other people handling your business. You don't know what all that stuff says. They work for the NBA. Them agents and people who you paying, they work for the NBA.
I feel that. But as a result, I feel like if the league better get ready for more Kyries. You know what I mean? More Draymonds.
What is Kyrie?
More outspoken.
And more outspoken
players.
Outspoken.
That's gonna draw the scrutiny of the other side that's going to lead to a clash.
But it ain't no clash.
It's going to lead to a clash.
No, it ain't. What it's going to lead to is you getting your ass kicked out the
players or the media.
What it's going to lead to is you getting your ass kicked out the league. When you saw what happens when you take a stand, Cap wasn't the first or the last. Well, Cap might be the last.
Nah.
The Cap, exactly. Of course he's not. But I'm saying he wasn't the first either. And as far as the NBA is concerned, we saw what happened to Mahmoud. We saw what happened to Craig.
That can't be a deterrence, though. Yeah, I mean, and obviously it isn't.
It's too much money involved, bro. Craig Hodges wasn't making no money. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf wasn't making no money.
Wasn't making Kyrie money, bro.
Kyrie, love to Kyrie. I rock with Kyrie. I approve his message. People think he's weird, but he's standing on his own. But as far as it's going, he ain't sitting out well, he did sit out because his mental health was being affected.
And that's why it was so good that Draymond
touched on that all day.
He had to.
Well, that's why we pay y'all $100 million. Get over it.
That ain't no pill. Like what?
It is.
That ain't a remedy.
That's the American pill. Are you serious? Money is the American drug. I don't care about your.
I said it's going to be more Kyries.
Well, we'll find another guy that can come in and take Kyrie's place, and we don't have to pay him $135 million either.
He's too much of a headache.
Yeah.
He has too much baggage.
Yeah.
Come on, you know the language. Come on, Draymond. Don't let that be it, fam. Stay fed up. Stay fed up, man. Come at it again.
Shout out to Draymond, man. I'm with him 100%. But until we own our own league, until we control.
What Draymond got to lose?
$100 million. I mean, his contract is guaranteed. I'm pretty sure there's a void of.
But he lose that. Nike will be waiting. Nike will be waiting to make him the next Colin Kaepernick justice athlete, and he'll have a Draymond jersey in stores that's gonna sell more than his jersey is now. Draymond, come on, it's a business decision, low key.
Well, shout out to Draymond. I agree with him 100%. But $40 million slaves tells the whole story, and this is just another. This is it, man. This is it's science, bruh. Right in front of your eyes, man. Like, Draymond can wolf all he wants to, but nothing is going to change, bro. That's their league. They don't have to tell you anything. You go by our rules or don't.
I'm just so disgusted at the thought, at the reality of that. And you know it changes how I watch the game. Like, I will, like, when I feel like that, I will not enjoy watching NBA games. I know, Gino, but it totally makes me feel like, fuck this. Excuse me.
Well, check this out, man. We got about 15 minutes left, a little less than 15 minutes left.
Oh, you saying you need your hoop?
I don't care. I don't really watch the NBA that much. I watch Dame Lillard, but that's really it. I don't have to watch that. I mean, I could only imagine my life without it. I mean, it's enough. I got enough on my plate to live without the NBA, but would I rather watch the NBA? Of course I would. I'm just saying that to say, man, ain't nobody taking that much of a stand.
As long as D Rose is playing, I mean,
exactly.
I'm going to be watching NBA basketball.
And
guilty.
Them guys ain't powerful enough to make no change. And the only change is going to be to stop hooping and to risk your paycheck.
We'll see the next time this collective bargaining agreement comes up. You know what I mean? If the Players Association is smart, guys like Draymond will be their voices will be, at the forefront of that conversation, man. We'll see what they can negotiate and can bargain.
Well, Kyrie Irving is the vice president of the NBA Players Association, so that should tell you enough.
And what it can be, honestly, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've seen and felt a change come over Adam Silver. Like, we were calling him the most progressive commissioner in sports, and he threw that out the window. He's like, we must be the money, fam. My job is to make sure y'all stay paid and to make y'all money. So let me step out of the limelight real quick and let me get my iron fist ready, because that's what it's been lately. Now, I feel like what it is the league knows that it's a clash coming. That's why they're flexing their muscles now, bruh, so that when it's time for another lockout, that the players are already a little worn down and already a little bit, they've already been squeezed a little bit. You know what I mean? They've already got that squeeze put on them a little bit. Gee, we're about to be without basketball. Like, come on. I feel like the players are going to be sitting out for a long time. We missed half a season, 10 years ago because of the last lockout. Get ready to miss a full one.
Well,
that has to be the threat.
We shall see, brother.
Oh, you want that Christmas money? Oh, you want that King Day bread?
Right.
No, fam. Lock the gym.
No, we need that bread. It's only 7% of us.
LeBron, can you say we playing?
Exactly. Or LeBron, can you hit me with a loan?
I got kids.
Can you give me a loan until? No.
Shout out to the second half, the other NBA players, the others, as Shaq calls them, right?
Hey man, let's take one more break, man. Let's come back. Let's come back. Let's take a quick one, Ron, because I gotta load something up. I want to get T's thoughts and the people's thoughts in the comments about this here that I'm gonna play next. So we'll be right back, man. You're on the soil with the Bigs.
WIFTBPM.
Tuned into Minding Our Black-Owned Business here on What's in It for the Black People Media. Ms. Jamalita Tillman.
The great thing about what we do at the Harold Washington Cultural Center is that it doesn't just resonate on the South Side, in Chicago, in Illinois, in America. We're in 12 different countries with emergency preparedness programs for institutions and theater schools, as well as curriculum and stage plays. We are the only theater in the country that takes a delegation of students to the Tony Awards every year to get the full Tony experience. So that's everything from seeing a play to hanging out with Broadway actors to going to the grand gala at the Plaza Hotel after. I'm very proud of that. And when I say the only theater, I don't just speak for Black. I'm talking the only theater that pays for everything. We book their flights. We get them dressed, we put them in hotels, we feed them, and we burn them out because when we go to New York for the Tony Awards, and for those who don't know, the Tony Awards are the highest coveted award for Broadway musical theater. It's like the Grammys of theater. That's a huge deal because one, it's not cheap to do that. Two, this is something that even those that are professionals, there are people in Broadway who've never attended the Tony. So that's one of the things I'm very proud of.
Life is a stage, basically. I was raised in these mazes, named the streets for players of reputations. Faithfully make G's with more cake pastries than bakeries. Deal with equations ranging from A to Z. Touch more bricks than Mason, serving like maitre d's. Pitching like we in the major leagues. Occasionally blazing bees, seeking that painful peace amongst a parade of fiends afraid to sleep. Dazed in the range, losing days of Z's. That's why my old girl prayed for me every day, cause I'm faded like tapers at the table, G. I can't take it, I can't wait to escape and leave, cause this basement is no place to stay for me. But I believe I'm the creator, I create the scenes that can't be seen just by the way I think and breathe. Time and the place in this game of life where you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is never change your life, just change your life. There comes a time and a place in this game of life where you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is never change your life, just change your life. In high school, she was average, mostly C's and D's. Same shit, now she high too, mostly off C and D. Now I have my loot clothes, CDs and DVDs. Easily these things could leave, cause she a sneaky thief, trust me. Always fussing, starting shit, I hear her. Arguments with the mirror regarding her appearance, her health declines thusly. First her mind, then abruptly she finds herself mumbling all the time to herself, trying to find herself by dealers that sell. Insecure, still in a shell, killing herself. And as long as she been blowing, it never seems to soak in. When she has devotion, shivering like she cold. And my cousins ask me where they moms be. I'ma tell her my auntie on the concrete, walking dead like zombies. Time and a place in this game of life where you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is never change your life, just change your life. There comes a time and a place in this game of life where you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is never change your life, just change your life. I've been debating on rearranging my life. I met a different stage of the game in my life. This is why I listen when I'm praying at night for answers to the questions that I'm stressing to fight. Lord knows the fortune is a goal, but I'm not forcing my soul to be sold between the forks in the road in order to blow. What can I leave beside my corpse when I'm gone? And my CDs with assortments of songs. The course I chose to school me was these cruel streets, and it used to fool me till I learned how to do me. Take a look, see at how the hood eat, misunderstood by crooks, thieves, good green and cooks. See, I'ma tell you how it should be. The great leaders empower the people so they can see through the powers that be. But instead they carry on like cowards to me, abuse their power to speak while these streets devour the weak. I was told that the soul creates and the mind reacts. I chose my fate, ain't no rewinding me back. Every day's a gift from God, that's why it's called a present. If you believe, you receive and see all the blessings. There comes a time and a place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice, you gotta change your life.
By the way, your setup is amazing.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's been nice. It's been nice out here in Arizona.
No, I mean, it's a fair question, and I think we've talked about that a little bit. You know, we believe in this group, and there's been moments that we've been proven right, and there have been moments recently that we haven't been proven right. But ultimately, I think this is a really talented offensive group. We've struggled in certain aspects of the game that we have to improve on, and I think Rossi and I have spent a ton of time over the course of the winter talking about how we can get this group back to where they belong. I think when you look at the names, the names in the lineup, I think that it's a really good lineup. I think we have to do a better job as a collective of putting that together and scoring runs. And two things that I would emphasize are hitting velocity, which is something we got away from last year and was certainly exposed against the Marlins, who had two really hard throwing starting pitchers. And then our decision making has degraded over the last 3 or 4 years, and we have to do a better job making decisions in the box of grinding at bats. So just like, for example, full counts. I think we've struggled, and so I think we have to do a better job making decisions. And so those are the kind of two areas we'll probably emphasize this spring offensively. But I think we have the pieces here to have a really good offense. And now we need to put it together.
Pitchers and catchers. Spring training officially starts today. Pitchers and catchers are now at their respective training camps. And that was new Cubs president Jed Hoyer after being asked by our boy, one of the Bigs' official family members, Russell Dorsey, who covers the Cubs for the Chicago Sun-Times.
Shout out to our boy Russ.
Russ asked Jed Hoyer, why should the fan base be inclined to think that this team could be any better than they have been the last couple of years with
great question,
the most minor upgrades. And to Jed's point, it was funny, Jed, before the thing started, he said, man, this is cool because I finally get to answer some questions. Because, it's usually Theo, has been Theo for the last 9 years. Jed in the background.
Guard treatment.
Yeah, But yeah, and I felt like that was a great question by Russ. And I mean, Jed and David Ross, he was asked the same question right after Rossi came on right after that. And he's basically said the same thing. It's like, man, these are guys with proven track records. Yeah, they haven't had – last year they didn't have the type of outputs that you would want from those big names, as we're talking Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, Contreras, Hayward. I mean, Hayward had a pretty good year, but other than that, the big names, they didn't have the years that they normally would have. And, of course, they tried to give the COVID situation most of the blame, and basically saying, man, this is the year where, these guys are going to bounce back and, really show who they are. And I understand where they're coming from, because these are guys who, if you look at their track record overall, these are guys that I would expect to have bounce back seasons. But as a team overall, especially since 18, 19, even though they won a division last year and they got mopped in 2 games by the Marlins, it's huge questions, man, lingering around there.
Definitely big questions, and that's why I feel like that's more of the last hurrah, designation You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I know we've been dragging, crawling through the mud the last couple of years. I know this. But if we're going to do anything before we got to break everything up, it's going to be this year, and our guys know it. They do have proven track records, but this is a what have you done for me lately league.
Period.
And lately, they've been, MIA. No, and I'm not, I'm totally not saying that. Guys like Chris Bryant and Javier Baez can't bounce back. Of course they can. But I definitely, when I'm looking at the Cubs this year, I'm wondering what they're going to bring. I honestly don't know what to expect from the Cubs, and I feel like that's the safest approach. You know what I mean? Based on the last couple of years, it's like I don't know what to expect. If I know what these guys need to be doing, but they haven't come out and played like that in a couple of seasons up to this point. So as a fan, I have to sit back and be like, okay, now y'all show me. Like, yes, we won the World Series in 2016.
5 years ago.
It's getting further and further away. Now you got to show us.
Especially like you're saying, with those the last of the Mohicans from that ship.
Yeah.
Willie, KB, Javi, Riz, and Jay Hay.
The true core.
Right.
Like, that's all that's left. They didn't cut the extra, you know what I mean?
Right. Other than John Lester, who was like one of the main 21s.
Whether you want to say it's because of age, whatever. You know what I mean?
But and the thing, what's funny is, and it's not official yet, but Jake Arrieta has returned to the North Side. And I mean, just think about this. Jake Arrieta was the last Cubs pitcher to win a playoff game.
Man, that's like getting D Wade. I mean, that's like worse than getting D Wade.
So the only thing I say about Jake is after he was having injury issues last year, when he got straight and when he came back from the injury, he was 3-0 to finish the season. Now that is something to look forward to. But I think more the signing of Jake Arrieta was, and he did have better offers from other teams, but he wanted to come back to Chicago and I guess end his career here. But I feel like what the biggest thing they're trying to do is just add to the rotation and add people to eat up innings. I think with Trevor Williams,
I feel that
Jake Arrieta will probably be now.
They totally need that. Yeah.
They got Kyle Hendricks and Zach Davies as the number 1 and 2 guaranteed. You sign Trevor Williams, you signing Jake. Now you got the chance of Alec Mills, Adbert Alzolay. I'm pretty sure they'll sign somebody else. And then yesterday, Jed did say, and this is a bullpen thing, but he said there will be another major league addition soon. Now, Jeremy Jeffress is still a free agent. I think his price tag might be a little too high for the season he had last year to return, but there will be another move made.
Real quick, go down the rotation for me, Rook.
Kyle Hendricks,
okay.
Zach Davies.
Okay.
That's a guaranteed 1 and 2.
Okay.
After that, Trevor Williams, who was really good when he was good.
Mm-hmm.
We know who Jake used to be.
And
then that last spot, if we're looking at a 5-man rotation, that last spot will be between Alec Mills, Adbert Alzolay, and maybe.
And I like him.
Yeah, me too. I feel like Alec Mills had a decent year last year.
He did. He came hungry and he showed improvement.
If he comes back in and shows that he's on an upward path, then that 5th spot, 4th or 5th, whether Trevor Williams and Jake. Whoever it is, 3, 4, 5, however they want to line that up, I feel like the starting rotation will be Hendricks, Davies, but then you think about it, these are all righties.
Yeah, and see, now I say that because I just want to say before we cut out that the South Side is going to tee off on that whenever the Crosstown Classic is here. That's going to be lunch for the White Sox offense. I had to throw it in there because it's spring training. The gloves is back off, y'all.
What is Tim?
Okay?
Did you see Tim Anderson's quote about him being the number 10 shortstop rated in the league? He said, what did he say, T?
Come on, G. That's bullshit. Come on, fam.
Yeah, I looked at 1 through 10, and I'm like, I understand how they're measuring using all these metrics, but the eye test tells me Tim Anderson is easily top 6.
Yo, bulletin board material.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm looking forward to kicking up our baseball conversation because the White Sox have kicked up their Zooms. Lucas had one, and Rick Hahn spoke today after a report came out that Jay Reinsdorf knew
about Tony La Russa.
That Tony La Russa had the DUI in his back pocket.
Of course he knew.
And he didn't tell nobody when they had their own personal meetings.
Hey, man. Spring training is here.
In other news, water is wet, but go ahead.
And exactly. And I'm thinking about making the trip, man. I need a vacation.
For real?
It's nothing better than going to
Let me
Arizona.
pack my bag so you ain't said nothing. Come on.
Hey, man. With that being said, we got the brothers on deck, man. Cousin 2, Herb Howard. I said what I said. Intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest, Monday through Friday, right here on the network, 3 to 6 p.m., man.
Yes, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate you. You just rocked with the Bigs on the soil. What's going on, Queen? We'll holler. The Bigs.
Hey, man, you know what we say, man. Show love, spread love, stay away from the haters. Circulate the dollar with your people, man. Make sure y'all circulate that dollar. But most importantly, always, always, always keep it player, man. There's a lot of non-player individuals out here running rampant in the streets, and we got to put an end to that, man. Just know the Bigs are watching, man. And if we run up on y'all and we pull up on you guys, it might get ugly, man. Shout out to Ron Rilla holding us down behind the boards. The brothers are up next. Stay tuned. Lock in with What's in It for the Black People Media. We'll see y'all Friday. Until then, peace out.
WIFTBPM.
First things first, what is a man and a woman? What is a husband and wife? Once you find that out and learn what a man is supposed to be and what a woman is supposed to be, that's what they don't want you to get back to. When you learn that, then the black community rises.
Whenever black in town, I'ma get it in, watch me black out. Black out, black out, black out, black out. Yeah, put your hands up whenever black get down. It's a pack house whenever black in town. I'ma get it in, watch me black out. Black out, black out, black out, black out. Yeah, back to the Renaissance, this black art. Nigga, the roots, black thought. The black pack came, a black hope. Black power one, whenever black vote. Thou shalt not back talk to the black god. Choose a drop worth more than a black card. Do what I want when I want, can't be blackballed. Do it for my people, do it for the black cause. Master of ceremonies, never be black slaves. What help feel many more black graves. To the white race, blacks pray. To white Jesus, too many blacks pray. Overstand a strong man, black man. The laws of the land is a lose blacks plan. Stop the black on black and black on brown. Roll up that loud, put out that black in mouth. I'm saying put your hands up whenever black get down. It's a pack house whenever black in town.
A1. I like how that sound right there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of inspirational. It's like everybody got a goal. They're trying to reach your life. They're trying to live, man. Be bumps in the road. You gotta keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? If it don't kill you, it make you strong.